Welcome to another Tuesday Newsday again with me and my boyfriend Sinzar. We're going to talk about 40 different news items this week, I guess, right?
There is a whole lot of news going on this week.
And one thing is happening this week that slowly starts to give me some hope for the future. But let's get into the units first. So, Yuna, she's your favorite unit, right?
I do like Yuna. I'm not sure I love her in Brave Exvius, but
So
I
I know
like I like her in
nothing
Final
about
Fantasy
Yuna
X.
though. Like what's I mean, I love FFX. So like Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. But so what's Yuna all about? Like what is she?
She's a spirit double hand limit burst finisher evoker. And
Okay.
yes, you do need to gear for all of that at the same time. And she has not great passives overall. So
Oof.
as you can probably tell, she is exceptionally hard to build. Can be done, and if you have the gear for it, she is like the strongest evoker finisher in the game, which is unfortunately not saying a whole lot because evokers are like
Yeah.
old meta. So yay, I hit 40% harder than Terra. That's kind of whatever, but she
Yeah, I
does.
guess exactly because like I mean we have magic units that hit that hard now and they have killers. So
Yes, we've got craziness like Angela, and I don't have any like damage calculations to say who does more, Angela or Yuna. If I had to guess, I would say probably Angela. I think Angela does actually
I
do
mean,
slightly more.
if you're saying 40% more than Terra, then yeah, like the
That's not
Yuna's
like a
nowhere close.
that's not like an absolute. That's just like a number I just threw out there. For example, it's like I don't know the actual specific number.
Yeah.
I will say that Yuna does have the ability to scale higher with like Braska in the party.
Okay.
We're not getting him this week, but he's almost certainly coming next week with Aaron.
All right. All right.
Uh, but he can buff Yuna's LB damage. It's almost never going to be worth it because you're bringing in like literally a dead party slot just to power up Yuna. So on like
Right.
a serious team, you're not going to.
No, but
But
just to put it into perspective, like with the damage wise, if you're saying 40% more than Terra, and sure that's not an absolute, just to give listeners a ballpark, so 40% more
hmm,
than Terra, that's basically like Olivera with killers or Pause
yes.
with killers. So like we're really like that's nowhere near top tier. I mean, it's not bad, it's just
Hmm.
not Angela, Sephiroth, Lara, Carton tier of damage.
Correct. The JP damage spreadsheet had Yuna at something like half of Sephiroth's burst. So
Right.
to give
Right.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
a,
No.
a more actually mapped out example.
I mean, sure, she's evoke though, so there are some other benefits with evoke damage that we rarely talk about for players that are not mega whales, which is and I mean mega whale in the most endearing term. I wish I was one, but which is that like casual plebs like me, we run out of killers. One thing that's really good about evokers is that they don't need killers, so in that sense, they can still
Well,
do decent.
that's honestly that's not really a lot of people usually say that. That's not really true. You're right. They don't need actual killers themselves, but instead of gearing for killers, you're gearing for evocation damage, and evocation magic. So while it's not
Yeah, yeah, but that's
killers,
I mean,
you still
Sephiroth and Tifa
you still
have.
yeah, but you still got to gear for it though.
No, no, sure, sure,
You
sure.
still need the
But it's a
gear.
different set of gear, right? Like my problem is usually that when I like with my pleb gear, I go into DV or cow, I gear two
Oh,
damage dealers 300,
I get
300, right? That's what I do.
okay.
But
I
then
get
the
what you're
third damage
saying.
dealer is going to have like 50, 50 or something other atrocious like 100, 100 or whatever. And at that point, an evoker might do more damage, right? And
Ab-
that's kind
a-
of
Absolutely, yeah. It's much easier to gear a full party in DPS if
yes,
one of them
exactly.
is an evoker. Yes, that
So
that is a
therefore,
good
I
point.
think like Yuna might have a good slot for people that might be in the same boat as me. I mean, her sprite is also amazing. She has Valifor in her Brave Shift. Um, so like I would actually like to have her just to be able to have her as a free DPS on trials that doesn't share killers. So that would be
Yeah,
very nice.
she is locked into light element though, so that's
Oh no.
pretty specific. Yeah, unlike all the other DPS in the game, you can't imbue her.
Yeah. Well, I guess evoke damage is unimbuable to begin with, right? So she has to
Well,
be on her
evoke
slot.
and actual mages, not like
Yeah.
Angela, because
Yeah.
Angela is imbuable as all units should be.
Yeah, agreed. Fully agreed. Or if you're doing like an evoker, then do it Lara style, where it's an ability that costs all LB, but has different elements or something at least. So yeah, okay, that's a bit of a shame because I remember you saying specifically on the pause banner that light is a dead element for a while forward, right?
There was like the Dark Visions that came out with Yuna and JP, and the final boss is weak to light, and she was really good for that. But because Global's schedule is so off the wall crazy compared to the JP schedule, that Dark Visions might be as much as like 3 or 4 months away. So eventually
Uh-oh.
we're gonna get it, and when it does come, Yuna's gonna be great for that one boss. But other than that, yeah, Light Magic has not seen a ton of use in
Right.
JP Dark
And I
Visions.
mean, again, even then, imbuing your Laras and Cartons and so on is just going to be
Yeah,
better. So, um,
exactly.
especially since we have a really strong light support in Cetra Aerith. So, okay.
Hmm.
But so there is this mysterious thing that Indra just said in the chat as well. It says global upgrade on Yuna. Do we know what the global upgrade is?
Um, yeah, if you look, you can actually see it in the news itself. If you look at her available at EX2 and available at EX3 preview in the news, you'll notice the EX3 has no EX abilities whatsoever. Her skills
Oh.
were EX3 and JP. They've been moved down to EX2. That's her upgrade.
Oh, okay, okay.
Which
Interesting,
makes
interesting.
it's the same thing as Sephiroth and Tifa. So it's basically the only thing you're getting at EX3 is her vision card. You're not getting any unit power. And unlike Sephiroth and Tifa,
Sepha and
her
Tifaroth. Okay, this is now the new name.
her vision card, while it is good, it's not like a must-have the way the Final Fantasy VII units vision cards were.
Yeah.
You're fine using like Aerith's card on her or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm still afraid of the gearing though, because I know how hard it is to gear Spirit True Dual Hand, and if she has bad passives, like that's gonna be a tough nut to crack on top of all the evoke damage she's gonna
Hmm.
want, of course, obviously. So okay. But
And
but I
I will
mean,
point out one more thing. She like desperately desires Coastal Frisia's STMR, which is a summer unit that JP got. I think it was like
really?
the week after the spanner, maybe. I don't know, but it was really close to Yuna.
Okay.
Her STMR is 200% Spirit True Double Hand,
Oh shit.
so
Okay.
so that was like a
Yeah.
really big deal for Yuna. Global may or may not even get the unit, and if we do, it's definitely going to be well out of season for the northern hemisphere. But it's a summer unit, and it didn't really have any. I guess it did have an event, so that's actually incorrect.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, we don't really know if or when we're going to get that unit, and Yuna without that is going to be a lot weaker.
And when we're talking about her as a unit, like, does she have anything else besides of that LB evoke burst? Like, does she have some support for the party or anything
She
noticeable?
does actually. Yeah, she's got a 30% staff in peril,
Oh,
which
nice.
no one really wants except for her. So I guess that's more of like a personal thing, but it is an imperil that the whole party can technically use.
Wouldn't
She
Angela have a staff? No,
she
no, not
could,
a
yeah.
staff. She has a rod. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you could give her a staff, and
Sure.
if on like a Dark Visions or
Yeah,
Vision
that could
World
be a
or
cool
whatever.
team. Like Yuna and
Mhm.
Angela would then support each other. Although, like, gearing magic for staves is difficult. I guess you'd use Luna Freya's, right? Can anyone equip
Uh,
those?
well, there's a Dark Visions staff with 300 magic on it,
Oh
but
shit. Oh yeah, yeah. That's true.
Global as of yet has skipped it. So we're supposed to have it, and we skipped
Okay.
it. So I'm sure we're going to get it eventually, but we don't have it yet.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Also, Yuna has the highest undead killer buff in the game for AOE. It's 160%.
Oh, nice. That's nice too. Okay, so it's not either just damage. She actually will be positive. Does she have any AOE amps or anything like that?
Nope. I don't even. No, no. She does have a personal amp, but it's only 30%. So it's like, yeah, for a premium unit, she is just lacking all over the place. Like Sephiroth and Tifa have 50% amps. Yuna only 30 for
Right.
herself. Not even
Right.
AOE.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like just
Cetra Aerith will help there, of course. Or she's often brought anyway. So, um, but okay. It's like so. It sounds like a bit more underwhelming premium unit, like especially when we're comparing to the Sepha and Tifaroth tier, which is a lot higher, right?
someone in the chat pointed out. I should mention real quick. She does have a 30% dark field for physical and magical,
Oh
which is
shit! So
also
she's like
I totally forgot about that. Yes, that's really good. That's actually
another
better than
chance
Reese's
at
dark field.
Reese, basically, right?
Yes, and she does have other fields, but they're completely worthless, so they don't even exist. Forget
So
them.
would you say they are as worthless as Red Ash?
uh, I guess that's up for debate.
All right. Okay.
Boo.
We're also getting star player Titus, right?
Yes,
NVA. Um, so is he good?
he With the disclaimer that he is basically a free unit, yes, he is very, very good. He is not going to compete with like the premiums and like Laura Croft and all that. He is not going to do anywhere near their levels of damage. But for a free unit, he is probably the best free unit we have. I'm calling him free because you can UOC him. He's not really free all the way. You are getting one copy free, but you need him EX3 to be like really good.
Okay.
If you get him to EX3, either from like the last 3 years of off banners or you will see him all the way there, he is probably the best Neovision's Awakening since the original Tifa.
Oh.
He is extremely good for a, I guess, cheap unit is a better way to say it than free unit.
So what are we, like, power level, what are we talking about? Because I see he's an SLB burster, so like immediately my mind jumps to comparing him to Cyan and Kurasame.
He has a 240x LB, which doesn't sound super high, but because he gets all the stats like Cloud does from all the Final Fantasy X gear, he can get up to 8,500 unbuffed attack power.
Oh my!
Cyan. Oh yeah. He also has the 6 times chain cap, even for double hand. Just innately, no gear wasted on double hand, so you can give him equip any weapon you want. Furion's bow is a nice one on him if you've got like no weapon in perils, or you can give him spear, great sword, katana, whatever you want. He also has really high chaining as well. So for the few like trial or EX stages and all, because he is an SLB and which only can do his SLB on turn 3, his chaining is actually really, really high for like those non-SLB turns. So he is just amazing all around. Oh, and he's AoE too. His finisher is AoE, that is actually a thing for quite a few fights coming up, especially the EX stages. They're like all AoE for the most part. So him being an AoE finisher is a really big deal.
So given your experience in JP, would you recommend the listeners to actually go for a Titus EX3? I mean, if it's easy and within their resources to do it with like UOCs.
Well, assuming we get it the same as the JP server, we should be getting up to EX1 for free, just like Gilgamesh and all that.
And wait, and NVAs are different, right? So how much do you need? Like you need what, 75 for EX2, or is it?
You would need 7 more copies after the free one. So assuming you already have 7 copies in the bank, you're good to go on day 1.
Right.
Now, would I recommend someone spend 70 unit of choice tickets if they don't have any to just get EX3?
It's technically going to be less, right? Because you can get the prisms as well, so you can get a bit lower than that.
Yeah, like 662 UOCs or something. Yeah, that's a really steep price. I probably wouldn't say that. Like,
okay, but let's say you have 4 Tituses. Let's say you have 4 Tituses. Would you say it's worth spending 3 UOCs on those to get up to the 7 units?
It depends on the player. For a player that has all the meta stuff, probably not. But for a player that like doesn't have Lara Croft and Sephiroth and Tifa, then probably.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. I mean, it's nice seeing good NVAs. I want to say that in general is just a great thing. Then we have Mr. Wakka. He's some of you already have him, you fuckers, because you were fast when the game updated. But yeah, so he is getting his 7-star awakening. Is there anything to say about this dude?
For a 7-star, he's decent. He's got like some overall support. He's got like the triple cast chaining with a bunch of families. He's actually got quad cast for some families. So he's like a really, really good support unit. Obviously his damage is nothing. But yeah, he's actually a good support unit, kind of like, a new version of Sylvie. Not really. He does have some stuff to use. People have used him in the JP server for various things, but he's not like meta or anything. So for a 3-star unit, he's fine. He does have 87% breaks, which is pretty high.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, especially if you don't have a breaker that goes that high. Not everyone has. Okay, nice. Mm-hmm. Very nice to have that in a 3-star unit, honestly. All right, so we're also getting Albed Girl Riku.
Are we?
Well, yes.
She is probably the most skippable unit since Neovisions came out.
Why?
As bad as Furion was, if not worse.
Oh my god, because Riku has this history in FFBE. She's kind of broken the meta with every release of her fucking unit. And now she's actually crap. Oh, okay. Well, one streak broken, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of like why they're basically giving her away. JP did the same thing. Like JP, when they created her, they knew we're creating trash. we're gonna just sell her on like the cheapest banner we've ever had in the game's existence, and Riku will now just like shit up the pool for your off banners in the future. I wish she didn't exist.
Yay. I mean, even her STMR is a one-handed fist with low attack.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't this but it gives you bonus experience if you want to go grind Miranda Coast to level up your
Yeah,
unit.
because that's what people do nowadays. That's how we get experience. It's not like everyone has like a full stock of cactuars. Okay. So okay, but let's just quickly go over what does she do though? Like, what's her role? She's a damage dealer, a support.
No, at EX3 she can give you 160 Fairy Killer, and that's about where it ends.
Oh man.
I mean, okay,
Well,
to be like what she really does, she gives you like a mitigation buff, and she can imbue thunder and light with low amplifies. That's basically it. Like she just really just doesn't do anything.
well,
She
to
is
be
so
fair,
bad.
also her sprite is very, very similar to her original sprite. Although I guess that can be said a bit for Yuna as well. Like she has this big change with Valifor, so that's big. But yeah, okay. So this is a skippable banner. You heard it here.
And she's actually not even coming out with Yuna. She's coming out on a Monday banner a few days later. Like she is being pushed to be as forgettable as possible intentionally because they know how bad she is.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's a shame. And I guess we've already talked a bit about the vision cards. Yuna's is 125 spirit with 500 spirit flat stat for a Final Fantasy X unit, so it's definitely a must for her, of course, right? Premium style design. Unfortunately, she's just not as good as the other premium units, right?
And it has no limit burst damage on it like every other premium card ever. Like
Yeah.
Yuna just misses the boat nonstop. I don't understand what happened.
Poor Yuna, being treated dirty. Well, I mean, I think we said a lot of good things about her too. Like, I think there's a lot of value in that unit. It's just less so when you're comparing to Sepha and Tifaroth, right? Like, that's a hard comparison to make.
Cost the same price. It shouldn't be. She's
No.
on
But
literally
that's the
same.
point, right? That's the point. Like, she's gonna cost as much as those units, but deliver half the benefit. Then it becomes a tough sell, right? It becomes a tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe we should say something about the EX Awakenings, though, because we already talked about Titus. He's getting his. No, wait. Oh, yeah, star player Titus. Yeah, we already talked about him and what he does, and he's good. But we're getting EX abilities for Yoshi. So obviously, this turns Yoshi into a meta damage dealer and support. Let's read on and see what these EX Awakenings are.
Yep. Go for
Actually,
it.
hey, hold on. Fill morale gauge. He's turning into a morale unit? That's nice.
I mean, that's like par for the course for every global exclusive.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the point, right? Like, he hasn't had it before, so that's really good. You might want to bring him in. What does he get more? He gets a limit burst upgrade. He gets some passives. He gets a limit burst upgrade, but we don't know. We don't know what it's gonna do. I guess it seems to just be a stronger version of his current one. I guess.
They actually don't give you. They give you a few numbers, but they don't give you all the numbers. So I wish they did in the news, make it a lot, easier to read.
He seems to be getting flat stats at least several times, so his spirit is going to be higher, I guess. So yeah. But again, it's hard to say what it is. He's getting a ton of equipment spirit, though. That's nice. He needed that. And it seems like he is getting a limit burst upgrade as well in his Brave Shift. And what's this? He gets a so his human and machina killer seems to be upgraded, right? As well as then boosting the LB damage. Well, again, we don't know the numbers, but hey, this is potentially looking good. This is potentially good.
Yeah, it was 110 before, so we know it's higher than that.
110. Oh yeah, killers. Yeah. Yeah, of course. And then he gets an EX3 ability, Frozen LCD. What does this do? This boosts so it's a CD, 5 turns cooldown. Also a killer against humans and machina. Ice and water damage. Oh, so this is an amp. This is an amp. Oh, that's interesting. Ice and water amp. And he has, of course, imbues for both of those as well. Oh, wow. Okay, this made me happy. I love Yoshi.
and it fills LB gauge for the whole party as well. Doesn't say how much. I really hope it's something like Emperor Fu, where it just completely fills the
Yeah, just
entire
like
party.
1,000 and just gives everyone LB and wow. I mean, that would make Yoshi a really good unit, though. Like,
That would make him extremely good for a lot of
yeah,
content. Because I've actually considered UOCing Emperor Fu for some strategy recently, and because I'm just not that UOCing Omnipresent. I mean, I've
yeah,
got one copy, so he's stuck at 5-star. But I've considered using an Omni because I want to use that like AOE maximum LB fill cooldown on him, but I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. So getting that on Yoshikiri would be amazing.
yeah. I mean, just in general, like he also has some other bonuses. Like he is actually a BS chainer, so there's that. Although I guess a lot of our morale support units are BS chainers. No, I like. Hey, I am going in with this with a positive outlook, given the fact that both Noppy and Cacteria got good upgrades. So hey,
Mm-hmm. I
I'm
hope so.
hoping they do Yoshi justice because Yoshi is my man. All right, and he really needs to be a good morale unit. I want to bring him to like morale battles as well as DV. Please let me do that.
Would be great.
All right, and then we also have Gabby. Gabby's finally getting his EX abilities, which is we've talked about them many times, but he's getting
Uh,
buffer and has barriers, right?
of course, you gets them the week after Mave, very on time.
Yeah. Well, technically, like Gabby has kind of been a bit behind if you can give other tanks support, external support. But I guess this brings him back up again to meta. I mean, he's never been non-meta. I guess he can tank whatever, right? But
He's always been, a
yeah,
really good tank, even without his ability. Now he's even better.
yeah.
And you actually skipped over Elena for her upgrades.
I saw no Elena upgrade.
Uh,
Starlight Elena is getting upgrades. Oh my god! But I thought it was star player Titus because it's his fucking picture in the news. Oh my god!
Titus is getting the classic awakenings where you go in and enhance the skill to +3.
Oh,
Elena is getting EX skills.
yeah. Oh my god! I just missed it because there's the text, but Titus's picture was up there. That's what fooled me. Okay. Oh my lord, this is fantastic. Okay. We need to look at this. All right, she's also getting some passives. Good. She needs that. That's really good because the free Elena NVA has more stats than this Elena.
they
Um,
they seem to be fixing her shift form. So for the first time in a year and a half, we might see people actually using her shift form.
really? Okay, let's see what happens. So crystal bifurcation seems to be a passive, right?
Yeah,
Seems
that,
so.
that, that, that that's for the base form. That is for the
Yeah.
dual wield.
You're sure?
Yeah, well, it's giving passives for dual wielding. Isn't that the base form only,
Oh
or
yeah,
is that both
yeah.
forms?
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Then Aurora
Yeah,
Mastery changes LB effects to boost LB damage by 150, boost damage limit for Oh, she gets a 2x cap already in her
and
LB. No.
and,
Okay,
and
so this is a passive that does that too. I get it.
yeah, so the shift form had that was the problem for the first year and a half. Is the shift form had the 4x cap, which was useless. So the shift form now has the 6x cap, so you can actually use it.
Okay. All right. So that's really good. That's really good. And this seems very interesting because then the limit burst is gonna deal morale based damage, right?
Yes. So in Clash of Wills, it seems like she's not getting morale on any of her chains. So she is going to only be an LB finisher in Clash of Wills.
Oh wait, hold on. Which LB is Crystalline Spectrum? That is the shift form LB, right?
The shift form, the one
Right.
that you would never ever use, but now you will.
Yeah, of course. Okay, good. So, okay, that's nice. This could actually mean that she becomes a competent burster in Clash of Wills, maybe. Let's see. I seem to forget, but wasn't her shift form LB a chaining LB? I
No, it's 2 hits.
it's two hits. Okay, that's good. And then she gets an EX3 ability, which actually gives us a sword in peril. That's nice. As well as demon and human killers to all allies, and water and light damage. Oh wow. Oh, okay, for caster. That was not AoE. That's a
Oh
shame.
yeah, it's a self amp.
So self amp, but AoE killers as well as a sword in peril. Wow. Okay. I mean, Yoshi and Elena were my favorite duo for a long time in this game. I really hope this does them justice. I really do.
It's it's kind of funny. I was like, I'm just realizing this. every time a unit in Brave Exvius gets a sword in peril, they're like good for a week and then crept. Like Noctis and Arden were good for like more like a month, but they crept and like now we don't have sword in perils anymore. Then we had like Elena, she was good for a month, then like she like left everyone's team. No, we don't have sword in perils anymore. Now we've got Starlight Elena, so we're gonna have like another month of sword and perils, and then like she's gonna get crept. Like,
but I mean,
sword and perils just can't stick around on long term units.
Yeah, but they're so bad weapons too. Like, who the fuck uses swords, right? Like, unless we get the variance change, swords are just crappy.
We did just get Turfing, the 170 attack power two-handed sword with the updated variant from the Trials of Mana Mog Shop that just made Duran's STMR worthless.
Yeah,
because it was free. But we do have one good sword in the game right now because of that. So
yeah, true. Okay, well, and I mean that might make Duran a bit better. But no, I am super excited about this. I mean, this is Elena and Yoshi. Oh my. Okay, I can't wait for Thursday now. We're getting these treats from Gumi. This is the thing I said in the beginning of the episode where we're actually getting these upgrades now. We've been screaming for them for so long. I guess like me sucking dick at the Gumi office so much has finally paid off. I am proud of my actions here. You can all thank me for this and not Sinzar.
True.
All right, so what else do we have? We have an event with the Final Fantasy X units, right? There is some gear that's crap, I guess.
Yeah, it's your typical Mog event. Go on there, farm it. It's got like bonus stages, etc. It does have a Chronicle battle.
That's the important one, right?
Yeah, the Sphere Morph. I'm pretty sure it's a limited battle, so you need to do it during this event. Otherwise, you're going to miss it. It gives Master Crowns, and also make sure you go in there and kill it in 3 turns for all the rewards. If you've got premium units, this is a complete joke. Bring in Sephiroth, kill it, you're done. Or nice. Whatever, Sephiroth, Tifa, whatever you want.
Well, that type of trial is nice too, to get reminded of the fact that you have this big damage in your roster, and you can just whip it out and use it.
Yeah. Oh, Indra points out star player Titus can very easily do this in the turn limit. Yeah, this one, it was really hard on the original limited time Chronicle EX battles with like the Whisper Behemoth and then the apps sewer fight with Tifa's banner, because those were like, they came out with the enormous power creep that if you had Tifa Sephiroth, they were a joke. If you didn't, you were still, during the old meta. But now that we're got like 10 units at that power level, these EX battles have not increased in power. They're the same strength. So if you killed like the Whisper Behemoth, 4 months ago with the Sephiroth event, this one's going to be the exact same difficulty. So, it'll be easy.
Okay. Nice. All right, well, I guess then that's it. Maybe we should mention a bit about the bundles. So we're getting a bunch of bundles, and some of them are paid, so we don't care about those because we don't know how much they're going to cost. But there are these bronze-looking chests that kind of people are suspecting are maybe lapis. And one of them is interesting. It has a Envy Unit Select ticket for FF Legacy. And in the FF Legacy pool, I guess, you have Noctis and Arden. We just said they are irrelevant, so forget about those. I guess, like, what's the prize in this banner? There is Celeste if you're lacking the Magic Tank and Ice Amp unit. I guess Zidane if you don't have his STMR yet.
Yeah, looking at this list, I would say the only 3 units that I would consider worth it would be Kurosame, Cyan, or Celeste. The rest of them are just outdated.
Yeah. I guess, again, Zidane for that STMR, right? If you don't have a single copy of Zidane, you might want the STMR.
Yeah, the STMR is still seeing use today. Like the current rank 1 clears in Treshen, the current Clash of Wills, like it's using Zidane's STMR still. People said Zidane's STMR is going to have like a week of spotlight and never get used again. I said they were wrong, and here I am saying, ha, told you so. It is still useful today, even at the absolute high end of content. Everyone is using Zidane's STMR. Still using it for every single content, so it is extremely good. And if you want to get Zidane from this banner, it is a great pick. The only reason I didn't really recommend him is because we already told everyone in the game to pick Zidane as your free Neovisions of choice that we were just given. Yeah, so exactly. I would assume at this point everyone in the game has Zidane's STMR. If you don't, shame on you. You should have it. Yeah, but if you don't, here's another chance of getting it.
And then there's also an FFBE GL original bundle that you can exchange for Louise, White Dragon Ling, Sky, Melia, Olivera, Igni, Roka, and Pause. So Pause can go fuck herself. Lord of the Seas Nickel is, I guess, good. Thunder
It's kind of
Sakura as well.
it's kind of funny you say that because Pause is probably going to be the one that I pick if I get this bundle.
Just for the STMR?
Just for the STMR, not for the
yeah.
unit.
I off-bannered her on Maeve's banner, fuck you game. I did not get a Maeve, but I got a Pause, so at least I have that STMR. No, but in to be serious here, of course, White Dragon Ling is a good pick because having her at EX3 helps you with Cow. But otherwise, like both Sakura and Nickel and Roka are the amp supports that are very good for their elements. So those are, I guess, nice pickups. I really like Olivera. So
Sky is still one of the top dogs in Clash of Wills, even
yeah,
still.
Sky is still an amazing LB burster. So yeah, this is a good banner, or this is a good bundle. Depending on what it costs, it could be very well worth it. Let's see. It also comes with like 2 red pearls, some cactuars, who the fuck cares, but also 90 STMR tickets, meaning 1 STMR Moogle as well. So I guess like if you buy this bundle for Pause, you're getting that STMR because you're getting the Moogle and Pause.
I'll point out that we did mention it, but Roka is like pretty convenient and useful, so she might be worth just grabbing just for Roka if you don't have her yet.
Yeah, I might actually grab Roka to EX2 her because I don't have her EX2, and I really want to have that upgrade. All right. Well, I guess that's it, right? Not much more to say for this week. We said a lot already, I guess.
I think so. Just out of curiosity, Barrows, how are you liking the current Clash of Wills Tression? Are you loving it?
I'm gonna say very much a love-hate relationship because I can think it can go fuck itself in its asshole because I think it's so overtuned. It's ridiculous that it's not giving me more options to try for a longer clear. There are these units you have to have, and there are very few of them. Well, I mean, let's say it as it is. If you don't have Cardon, go fuck yourself. Really, you could do like some cheese that you just posted with Vostler. But other than that, like I hate that. I really want to play this trial. I want to try hard on this cow battle, but I have done the best clear I can, and that's shit compared to just taking a couple of more turns. Because I can't do the obvious things you need to do, like ramp up people's LBs and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I hate that. It's way overtuned, and it's the fact that you can't even use other tanks very well either just sucks. Just sucks.
I'm kind of like, I don't disagree with you that everything you said is completely true. Completely true. At the same time, I don't really mind that because it also adds challenge. So even though it is completely accurate that the window of units to use is so narrow, if you don't have like almost all of them, it's just a high score run is out the window.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that does make it a lot harder, which is kind of something I want. But then again,
I agree with that.
But I also do have literally every single one of those units that you would want. So maybe my opinion is biased.
No, but listen. So I want to say 2 things. One, I love that it's harder. That's what I want. Like I want to have harder trials where I do need to think and compose units. I've said this before and people have hated me for it. I am perfectly fine with having requirements on super high-end units to score high. That's perfectly fine. Hey, if you need Carton to get like the absolute top tier, and if you don't have him, you're going to end up on half that damage, that's also okay. But what I don't like is being locked out of content. And that's what I feel right now. I feel I am locked out of this trial because I can't use my units on it because I am lacking this one specific unit. That's what I hate. If there was like a way to use, like if there was a way for me to go to like turn 8 without these signature units and like use my units to do like half of what is top score right now, that would make me happy. But as it is right now, fuck you. Like I am not, like they're not letting me play their game, and it seems like a very fun battle. I want to play it, but I can't. So that's my frustration.
Makes sense. I was just curious your thoughts on it. I didn't want to like derail the news video too much with like non-news stuff. It's already a long video, so I was just curious what you were thinking.
No, but I mean, but like I'm just sad because I would want to enjoy this trial. It has been a lot of fun so far, and it was fun actually doing a score clear. But I cannot be competitive due to many factors. So I just let's end it at it's slightly overtuned. If they just fix it a little bit, this would be a very enjoyable cow. Just a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Thanks everyone for chilling. I mean, hey, just actually hold on. I mean, you have to be enjoying this though, because you've put out like what 25 videos so far on this cow on various clears.
Oh, the Clash. I do enjoy it. I also am feeling the frustration, like you, that my options for team building are so narrow. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy doing all kind of various teams and goofy teams and mixtures. For this one, it feels like I'm having to just reuse the same 3 or 4 units for anything other than like some super cheese clear.
Yeah.
Like I've got to use like Kresnik and Carton and Laura for anything that is even remotely resembling a high score run. Now, I have done a few like clears that ignore score for just the clear of stuff. That's fine. For that kind of stuff, you don't need those units. But for anything involving like top 500 score, like if you don't have those like 3 or 4 units, you're not getting those high ranks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like, it's a combination of many things. So high elemental resistance requirements. Like if you're going to do it without Carton, you're going to have to gear like 4 elements at 350. Which
it's not even possible. It's literally not possible.
Yeah, it's just not possible. So, and then there's the high morale requirement along with it, because the boss kicks you in your morale balls so hard, you need to like punch back with, Kresnik does 2 things. He also fixes that turn 1. That's really awkward. But he also pushes that morale bar like a motherfucker. But you would probably need more, right? And that's kind of all of these things combined with and then a strong tank and these elements makes it, as you're saying, the puzzle becomes very limited. Like instead of being a 20-piece puzzle, it's a 4-piece puzzle, and those are less challenging. Like either you have the pieces or you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, the big problem is like Parton is like the only realistic way to survive the turn 3. So you're either doing like a turn 4 clear where you use the threshold to survive instead, or you're going with like some ultra cheese strategy like Vossler, which I mean the Vossler thing does work. So I guess it really is an option. It's just like it's like really heavy RNG, which I don't really like building clears based on that. But if you have no other option, it is an option.
True. If you have Osler, that's one way you can get those numbers up. I just, I hate all forms of RNG. I can just see myself just strangling myself trying to do this clear and Vossler dying due to RNG, and then like, okay, fuck this. So no, I'm not doing that clear, unfortunately. But let's see. I mean, we have one more week. What if, Yoshi has secret EX ability that gives you 350 resistance to like 4 elements? That would be great. Let's see.
It'd be good. The problem is Yoshi is focused on water and ice, and neither of those are used on the boss.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, maybe Elena. She's light, so maybe. Who knows?
Could be. Yeah. Elena is a light morale unit, so potentially.
Yeah. Oh, and Red Ash had something interesting in chat. We're like, Yoshi tank era. Actually, Yoshi, with his high spirit, it would be cool if he actually got a cover. that would be interesting. He could kind of duel as a magic tank.
Maeve has like 7,000 spirit, and she just drops like a rock if you're not immune to the damage.
Yeah, I know. And like just as a second to Maeve, like, wow, what a strong unit. Oh my god. A bit too strong. In my opinion, I think they're creeping too much again, but very good unit. Very good unit. All right. Anyway, we need to end here. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here all day.
Okay.
So thanks for chilling, Sinzar. Really exciting to see what the damage numbers on these EX units are going to be.
See you next week.
See you next week.